journey. Welcome. Happiness is here and now. Let me start with that. True happiness is a state of consciousness, or we may say it is a state of mind. All experiences takes place in the mind. Either these experiences are the result of contact of any object, person, place, event outside. Hey, how are you, honey? So there is a contact outside and I become happy. Or happiness reveals within when there is no contact. There is no contact of the mind to any object, any person, anything outside. So we are aiming at that happiness which is independent of anything outside. That happiness is permanent, reveals when the mind is empty. Why it is empty? Empty of the objects outside. So we say mindfulness is emptiness, nothingness of the mind. Is it choiceless awareness? There is no choice, there is no object, so how can we make a choice? Is it a state of being or something else? How do we know that state? So we are studying one of the highest texts known as Ashtavakra Gita, a dialogue between master and a disciple, master and a seeker. But in today's session we'll have some brief introduction about it. How long it takes you to smile? You just smiled. It takes no time to smile. When I say you to smile, smile reveals from within. Face glows. When it takes no time, it is beyond time. When it is beyond time, it is also beyond space. It is also beyond cause and effect. That is the nature of meditation. So if I can smile just by recall and remembering, I can also be in a meditative state with no time and the space. Just take another example. How long it takes you to reach to yourself? I always ask this question. To cover a distance from your home to workplace, or from your home to my home, I have to cover a distance. There is a space, there is a time, there is an action. But when I want to reach to myself, I and I, there is no space, there is no time, there is no action. That is the nature of meditation. That is why we say it goes beyond the time. Mind always works in space and time. Mind always works in space and time. Are you getting it? So what happens? What we want? Meditative state. So where the mind is running? Mind is running outside in search of happiness. So when it is running outside, it enters into the changing world of space and time. Any result outside takes time, space, cause and effect. There is always a choice in the world. We want to enter into a choiceless awareness. J. Krishnamurti says. So what happens? We talk of meditation, which is beyond time, but we ask the mind to follow the same cause and effect relationship. So what happens? What we want, we don't get it. Because it is in the space and time. What we get, we don't like. Why? It is space and time. What we like, it does not remain forever because it is constantly changing. It lives in the field of space and time. That is the nature of meditation. We are just understanding this great text known as Ashtavakra Gita. I think one professor in the university, if I am not mistaken, he has translated that book as a heart of awareness. One of the most beautiful and highest texts. You see that masters are of two types, who either speak at their level. They don't want to go down. And then there are masters who come down at the level of the seeker and the student. So you might have heard different phrases: choiceless awareness, mindfulness is effortless, you are not doing anything, do nothing, be lazy and achieve mindfulness. It will not be possible. So there is a master, J. Krishnamurti, speaks about the choiceless awareness and explains and there what happens? When you speak at that level, there is no teacher, there is no student. Why there is no teacher and student? Because he has revealed. The knowledge of reality is revealed. There is no duality. There is no duality. That is why there is a choiceless awareness. So I can fancy with that intellectual exercise of choiceless awareness, but am I a seeker? Do I reach there? Do I experience? And then there is another tradition where the teacher speaks at the level of seeker, the student. He says, first do this, first close your eyes, first do the breathing and all. So I'm merging both the tradition from today. This Ashtavakra Gita, it is a dialogue between master and a seeker. That seeker is of highest order. He has done practices for years together. And he came across a phrase in the text. What is that phrase? That happiness is here and now. You can be in meditation here and now. That was the question moving in his mind, and he was looking for a teacher who can tell him, yes, this phrase is right. This phrase is right. We are lucky, and I'm fortunate to have my master who used to invite more than 300 monks and masters every year. We used to have a New Year celebration for 3 days. And all those 300 masters are allowed to speak for 3 days, from morning until evening. And my master used to keep silent. So from different traditions, including the Buddhism, they said, no, you have to speak, you have to tell them. So this Ashtavakra Gita, Ashtavakra is the name of a master. The literal meaning of Ashtavakra means your body is bent, deformed at 8 places. Ashta, 8, Vakra, deformed. Do you remember the 8-limbed path of yoga? 8. Body is deformed at 8 places. Symbolic. We will understand that symbolic as we proceed further. So the story goes that his father, the father of Ashtavakra, was another great master, learned master, but not realized. And Ashtavakra is in the womb of his mother, and father was speaking some verses wrongly. So symbolic expression. Don't take it as a mystical. I will clear that what is that symbol means. So the Ashtavakra was present in the womb of a mother, heard the verses were spoken wrongly. So he spoke from the womb, Dad, you spoke this verse wrongly. Your explanation is wrong. So the father cursed him, and he was born at 8 places. But I told you, symbolic, 8-fold path of yoga. He was deformed at 8 places. 8 places. 8 places. So he could neither sit, nor sleep, nor stand. He cannot walk. Deformed at 8 places. He became one of the greatest master. So what is the symbolic? What is the symbol hidden in it? We say, no, I have met many masters. No, first you have to sit in an asana postures, and then only you can succeed in meditation. This master could not sit in any posture, could not do even breathing practices, could not do any of such practices, and he has achieved that height. And the seeker was a king who was doing all the practices. His name is Janak. So we will understand the highest message in the story. The father was in the court of a king, Janaka, who was a seeker. So somebody from the court came running to the house of Ashtavakra to convey the message to the Ashtavakra that your father is being defeated by other masters as the debate is going on. Pay attention. So what happens to this mindfulness? So Ashtavakra entered into the kingdom, and all the great scholars and the masters started laughing, looking at the 14-year-old boy, because he was deformed at 8 places. He could not walk properly. So when he reached in the midst of the court, Ashtavakra also started laughing at all the scholars and the masters. And the Janaka, the seeker, was surprised. There is a reason that everyone is laughing at you, because your body is deformed at 8 places. You cannot walk properly. But what is the reason why you laughed at them? That is the secret. Why you laughed at them? So the Ashtavakra said, my lord, King Janaka, none of the present masters had tasted meditation or self-realization. You have invited fools in your kingdom. Why? Can you find out? King Janaka had no answer vocally for what Ashtavakra said in the court before all the masters. He never rejected the argument of Ashtavakra, realizing he came down from the throne and touched the feet of Ashtavakra. Only you can guide me the path of mindfulness here and now. Can you find out what happened, why it happened? And the answer is simple. I have repeated hundreds of times. My real nature is pure consciousness. I am not the body. When I am not the body, whether the body is deformed at 8 places or the body has different shape, size, color, age, it doesn't matter. There is one common element, that is real nature. So Ashtavakra further said, you all are fools, especially those who laughed at me, looking at my body, considering that I am the body. Then why you discuss in the court of a king that the real self is of the nature of pure consciousness? It is beyond space and time. Are you getting it? So, when he realized, there is another story that we will take up sometime. One more thing. So, when you are a seeker, you ask big questions. You don't ask small questions. So this text begins with a very big question. Katham jnanam apanoti. How the knowledge of the self is attained. Katham muktir bhavishyati. How the realization takes place. Vairagyam cha katham. How the dispassion is attained. Because if I live, my mind lives into the state of dispassion, objectless state will come naturally. So he says, my master, a king who is asking a question to 14-year-old, master, tell me, master, you are my master. So king realized, the seeker realized that he is the guy who lives into that state, who is not affected, even if everyone insulted him and laughed at him. How he can help his dad to defeat us? That master, the King Janaka realized it. Yes, he is living into that state here and now. He is not at all affected. He did not get affected by the insult passed on to by those great scholars and the king. And then the journey, the dialogue between master and seeker begins. And the master asks, the seeker asks, Katham jnanam apanoti. How the knowledge of the reality is attained. Knowledge of the reality. Or you can say how we can achieve to the state of choiceless awareness. How realization. How we should awaken to the permanent state of peace and happiness. And how the dispassion is to be practiced or attained in life. Kindly tell me all these, my master. So remember this week. One is dispassion. Second is a permanent state of peace and happiness. Third question is knowledge of the reality. I know you. See that? I know you. How do I know you? Through the mind passing through my eyes. I can tell the names of each and every individual. Can I know the same way my true nature? So the seeker knows it, that the sense organs and the mind are the instruments of knowledge for the objective reality. That I can know anything and everything possibly in the material world through my sense organs and the mind. They are the perfect instruments to know the world, even if it is not perfect. Eastern wisdom is the instrument of knowledge to know the reality, to know my real nature. Same. Sense organs have their limitations. They are external instruments to know the world outside. Subtle instrument is the mind, by which we know a thing through the concept, through the ideas. Same thing. But beyond that, Eastern wisdom is the knowledge to know the subjective reality. When I say keep smiling, can you really smile? Show me. So you have a smile instantly at that moment. How that smile came, what is the origin of it? It is my subjective first person experience. How to enter into that first person experience? The senses and the mind cannot help. So through the mind we bypass, we transcend the mind and enter into that state of choiceless awareness and the mind. So we will start answering these 3 questions next week. So let us start our journey of meditation. Stage 1, close your eyes. Close your eyes first, gently. Body is steady. The mind is looking deep inside. Mind is looking where? Deep inside others? No, deep inside yourself. Otherwise, our mind will make a mistake. So you are looking inside your head or the heart. It is the space or the darkness. So we will continue with one tweak that I did last week. Can you experience 1% of calmness now? Your mind will not say no. It will say yes, 1% calmness is there. Now what I'm asking, that is it possible to continue to be aware of that calmness? You're not doing anything. When you're not doing anything, you're beyond cause and effect relationship. That level of subtle awareness we need to enter into the state of mindfulness. Being comfortable. Being comfortable. Looking at the neck joint, feeling the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Shoulder joints, feeling the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The mind is moving to the hip joint, looking there, feeling. You're not doing anything in this also process. You're just becoming aware, feeling presence, and then you experience, you move from the physical to the subtle. What is physical? Hip joint. And then when I say experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness, it is subtle. See, that's subtle. And the entire body from the top of the head to the toes Good. And experiencing sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Now, this being comfortable helps us to move deeper into the third step of being carefree. What is being carefree? Thoughts coming and going, let it come and go. I explained through the three metaphors. First, standing across the road watching the traffic means mental traffic, and you are standing across. You are standing behind these thoughts. Second, the birds flying in the sky are the thoughts in your mind, in the mental sky, but the sky remains as it is, it is not affected. Can I become aware of that? You see, again, you are not doing anything. We are proving that we are still doing nothing. The stage one is to help you to become a seeker, like the Janaka of this teaching. But if you are not a seeker, then first two steps. And so you are carefree. The third example I gave, waves in an ocean on the surface, and deep inside the ocean the water is calm. Water is the same. The water becomes the waves on the surface, no waves deep inside. Can I separate? That is what is being carefree. Can I see that is separate? I don't need to separate. And the fourth step is being casual, natural. So there, it again demands only the awareness. Water and the waves. Is water natural? Yes. It may have a small wave, big wave, large wave, tsunami, storm, but still the water is water. That is being natural. If we identify with that awareness inside, we are already there. But we will continue to purify the mind that we do in the second stage. So we have in the second stage, we continue with 2 steps. Eyes remain closed. You are in the state of being comfortable, steadiness, looking inside the belly. Are you continuing with the state of calmness? That is one side of the mind. We are not in a hurry. When you are in a hurry, you fall into cause and effect relationship. So one side of the mind, the calmness continues. Now other side of the mind, looking inside the belly button and start breathing short and quick and gentle breath from both the nostrils into the belly. Continue. You are enjoying that breath. You are not forcing that breath. We are not doing any breathing from Hatha Yoga. And now we say Kapalbhati or Bhastrika. No, we are not doing none of them. Just casually playing with the breath. Keep looking inside the belly button or inside the forehead in the space. You are still aware of the calmness that continues, that you revealed in the very beginning. continue, 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 please. We are in the second stage and the step 1 of the second stage. There are no stages in meditation, but for the sake of understanding, let the time come when we'll have no stages. And you are there. And stop it. We'll continue with the second step of the stage 2, the humming sound. Start breathing deep, silent, slow. Pay attention. It should take time. You should not be in a hurry. And while breathing out, looking deep inside the forehead, start the humming sound. You should feel the waves deep inside and around the head. That is how you have to do the humming. Deep, silent, slow breathing, inhalation, and during exhalation, continue with the humming sound. It takes time to inhale. The next breath is deeper, longer than the previous one. And the next humming is deeper, longer, and louder than the previous one. It means you are able to maintain your awareness on the step. Continue, my friends. And stop. This step we move to the third stage to remove the projection of the mind. What is that projection? Mind is constantly projecting. Happiness is there outside. When I come into contact with that object or that person, when I talk in this way, when I long list. So we have to get rid of that projection. And that stays. Look inside the forehead. in the space. Mantra is Om. You are looking deep inside the forehead in the space and start hammering mentally the mantra Om inside the forehead in the space. Like one, I am demonstrating Om, 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 mentally. No movement of the lips or the tongue. You keep looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Om, 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 mentally. You should be aware that there is no thought between the two Om. And if that is done, you have a glimpse of that choiceless awareness on the other side of the mind. I appreciate everyone is doing wonderfully in that state of outer conditions are met. You are living into the state of being comfortable, steadiness, and almost it appears total motionless state of the body. I could also see some inner changes. I see in many of them there is no rapid eye movement. Means the mind is withdrawn inside. There are many other ways that we understand that. So, now looking inside the heart, in the space, doing the same thing, quick, fast, and loud hammering mentally, Om, 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 mentally. Deep inside the heart. Why I say hammering? You are pushing the mind deeper within without any thought, which has a binding effect in the world outside. You are simply doing Om. Continue. And looking inside the belly button, continue the same hammering Om, 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 Om mentally. No movement of the lips and tongue. It is quick, fast, loud. In your mind, do you see the mind is working on the mind? Is the third stage. And stop this hammering. We will move into the stage 4, journey within. We have cleared the path. We can see the highway. So we just ask the mind to look inside the forehead in the space. That is the first milestone. So when you see the space at a particular point, just drop Om Shanti. Then ask the mind to move deeper. So you have gone too far from the first Om Shanti. Drop second Om Shanti. Then take the mind deeper, further. When you see the mind seems to stop, Om Shanti, then continue. One milestone to the second, to the third. So for the sake of recognition, the mind is going within, deeper within. You simply drop Om Shanti. Again you find another milestone, Om Shanti. You are marking, so to say, in the highway inside. And now stop this step. We'll move into the stage 5. Move the mind gently with awareness from the top of the head to the toes and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind once again. Means I become aware of the body outside and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Then look inside the body, from the crown of the head to the toes. Inside the body, awareness is there. Calmness and quietness is there. Recheck again. Moving the mind inside the body. Awareness inside the body. So you have simultaneous experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body. That converts into tingling, numbness, and variety of other experiences I'm not explaining. And inside the state of the calmness and quietness, that also converts into variety of experiences, visions, and the colors. Recognize them and accept them. Then come to
please look at the screen.
Then looking behind that state of the calmness and quietness, as if it is a horizon. Why I say horizon? The mind is created when the matter comes in contact with the consciousness. The sky meets the ocean. It appears, same thing it appears, unknown territory. Can we have a glimpse of choiceless awareness there? Sensation, relaxation, and stillness outside, calmness and quietness within, and deep within. Horizon also gives an idea to the mind. What appears a duality merges into oneness. Now, last step, looking at the breath going in and out. The stage 6. Looking at the breath. That is not doing anything. You're simply aware of the breath. You feel the sensation of the breath. That is also doing nothing. And you are aware there is no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath due to the past impression. Due to the past impression, the mind changes. The journey is smooth. You may be surprised. We cover sometime 12 to 14 steps every time in different stages. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind to your right hand, your mind on the left hand. Raise both your palms, place it on your closed eyes, open eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We have 2 more things to do, sharing our experiences. And if you have any question, how are you, David and Jerry?
Wow, that was very, very deep. As soon as the the pounding, the om, I just went to this deep, deep, deep space, and then the next thing, I heard you, but I didn't hear you. The next thing I heard was stage 6.
Okay.
And it was just very, and it got brighter and brighter too. I just remember that.
Wonderful. That is becoming a seeker. That's a really wonderful experience. How are you, Jerry?
Good, thank you. The meditation was nice and calm for me. I did notice during the hammering, no thoughts, but a little bit of effort.
Okay.
Sometimes thoughts come in. So I noticed the effort of it, and like you said, a little bit of the eye twitching. So I noticed that there's some effort there. It's not completely effortless. But I was able to focus, and then I just really appreciate kind of the message that there's calm within the storm. I think, so if we sometimes I think for me, I don't really notice the calmness like through my day, but then when things are a little chaotic, I'm really aware of the calm.
Wonderful. That is again becoming a seeker. I always tell, the storm is outside. What we do, we rush inside the home, close the door. We don't create a calmness inside the home. It is already there. It is there. Same thing deep within us. Calmness is always present. Welcome back, Priscilla and Paul. How are you?
Wonderful to be back. That was tremendous. I enjoyed the breathing. It just went
good.
Just created a rhythm, and then I just went away. It was like being the image that came to me was I was just watching the sunset.
That's another very vision is good.
Very calm.
Very calm. That's a wonderful experience. How are you, Paul?
Doing well. It's was deep because everyone's mowing their lawn this morning, but of course I don't hear it.
That's beautiful.
It was deep.
You see how you can separate, your consciousness can separate what is happening outside. That is the art. And can you do it by any practice? The very practice adds another noise, so you cannot do by practice. It happens with awareness. That needs to be understood in this journey. Beautiful. How are you, Jonathan?
Doing very well. Today was very good, actually. the feeling that I got was that the stillness that came in my mind sort of translated almost immediately into my body. So it was a very physical feeling.
It's wonderful, Jonathan. That I
And again,
encourage.
I had to do a bit of driving, so it's good.
Yeah, that's why I encourage everyone to share their experiences. Do you know what he said? The stillness of the mind permeated in the body. That should happen in the journey of meditation. So I use your experiences, to explain what is happening. So even Patanjali, when he explains asanas, he says you have to keep looking into the space inside, especially the meditative asanas. So keep looking into the space inside your mind, and at the same time you are aware of the body. The stillness enters into the body. So means the stillness is not an enforced into the body. It has to manifest. So we are understanding this great teachings of the Master, effortlessness at every point. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good, thank you. The meditation for me today was extremely peaceful. Very, very similar to Jonathan's statement. I had a very settled mind from the start, and it indeed manifested through my body and created this calmness that I'm not even sure until right now that I actually moved since we started. So
Beautiful.
It was a nice experience, very nice experience.
Beautiful. Becoming a seeker. That is what happens. That is why we share the experiences. How are you, Jordan?
I'm good. The practice was good for me as well. And just kind of what my mom said, I appreciate the practice to kind of enforce the inner state of calm, because I'm very much that way. So it feels right, but everything outside can be crazy. But like you said, it's just what's outside. It's not really what's inside, but easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, beautiful, Jordan. You have a very sweet voice. I would say meditative voice. One day you should give meditation session.
We'll consider it.
I consider it. How are you, Anne?
Yeah, I feel good, and I also feel that I really feel more detached from my body during meditation.
Beautiful.
Which,
You see a variety of experiences. I feel I'm detached with the body. Can you be aware that this is not you, the body is not you, you are already detached? I have to simply be aware of it. How do I know? How should I separate myself from the mouse? I'm already separate. I need to be aware of it. We don't need any effort. Understand that point. This is what the teaching will continue. This Ashtavakra Gita. So, how are you, Vivek?
For me, it was more into space than into body. More into space, more into calmness, steadiness, and
That's good.
it was more into peace. Yeah.
That's good. Yes, on the words of becoming a seeker. How are you, Ashok? How are you, Vaibhav? Yeah, Ashok. That's a perfect way of sharing. meditation should be sharing in silence when we don't hear anyone. So I didn't hear anything of Ashok. It's okay. Vaibhav, what? Vaibhav, how are you?
Really nice. Though in between I start having a pinching nerve in my hip, but there was a moment that I just totally forgot about it, and it was like I was going. When you say that, say Om Shanti and just go in, I was just going in, and and then the whole awareness comes to my body that I'm aware. I'm not just aware to just my inside my forehead, but I'm aware to my whole
Oh,
body.
yes, that happens. That's a beautiful experience. Beautiful. संगीता कैसे हो?
सर बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत था, और ऐसे लगता है जैसे जो स्पेस है वो फैल रहा है.
देखो साधक होते जा रहे.
अच्छा लगता है, मतलब बॉडी छोटी है और स्पेस ज़्यादा है.
Space ज़्यादा. Yeah, she has given a beautiful expression. The space is bigger than the body. Normally, because of attachment with the body, we experience the body is bigger than the space. In our default movement and default journey of life, think of it. That's so beautiful. How are you, Pushkar? Oh, we have Samir also here.
Sir, they are a different experience at a different level. The body becomes so rigid and the mind becomes so peaceful.
Very good. Body becomes so rigid means steadiness has come. And how are you, my friend Samir? Where is Samir? Samir has left. So, pay attention. I'll be sending you, or you can find the audio in the speaker. Do this practice couple of times. Understand. When the mind has no binding factors to create happiness. What is binding factors to create happiness? The mind moves outside and it looks at an object or a person or a thing, and the mind experiences happiness. So binding factors, if these factors are not present, I will not be happy. So just think and contemplate that happiness which has no binding at all. That is what the choiceless awareness is. Thank you very much for tolerating me. We will meet again next Saturday. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.